I don't think it's loud yet. It's loud. Hey. You're handsome.
Those teeth. Oh my gosh.
Who is that? The distinguished beard and all of that.
I cut it off. I gotta let it grow a little more.
Yeah, let's see if we get some watches tonight.
Yeah, see what
I didn't post it. Like, I need to start doing a better job advertising.
Oh, advertising, right. Get them up to this point.
Well, we just getting these videos in, having these
It's
conversations.
It's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be dope. Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna go be my own one person, because maybe my one person will attract other people. Oh, it's this couple. Learn about educating black boys better. I got my guest, Martellis Lewis.
What's up?
What's up? One of my favorite people. I think I'll put you on every video.
You did.
I mean, I'm always talking to you about everything. So just dope young man, businessman, one that I really respect, an entrepreneur. You said what?
Entrepreneur nigga.
Entrepreneur nigga. Someone that I really respect you though. Like, I mean, when I heard your story, like, it was just like, man.
I appreciate that.
So like, we've been stuck for a minute.
We have.
But he's single, ladies. So if it's some ladies watching, and you know, hit us in the comments, and we'll work on that later.
Stupid.
But a lot of you all know that ebb and flow is it's my baby. You grown? It's my baby. And it stands for Educating Black Boys Better, and just having this conversation with black men about school. And so I think it's important because something's got to change with how we are educating our black boys. And so what better way to change something is by talking to the people who gone through the experience, have the experience, have the wisdom, have the insight to make it better. Because I ultimately believe there's a population of people that don't really care anything about making our black boys smarter, because they already smart.
Yeah.
So making them smarter. So we're going to talk with Lewis for a while. I call him Lewis, but his name is Martellis Lewis. And I hope you can hear us, hear him.
Yeah,
but Lewis, I want you to just tell us about you. And this is your song. It's a vibe. So this is your vibe tonight. Mm-hmm. But tell us about you. Tell the watchers, the onlookers.
When you say tell you about me,
like, like, who are you?
Who am I?
What do you do? How do you know me?
You know, just love meeting new people, learning new things. I'm always searching for knowledge, because I feel like I was cheated as a kid, so I'm always searching for knowledge. Just, you know, a love of life. I love to have a good time, love to travel, you know, love this young lady right here. You know.
What do you do professionally, I guess?
So professionally, I'm a contractor, you know, on a construction company, so I rehab, do additions, build new, so a little bit of what I do during the day. Yeah,
got houses all over Bronzeville, all over South Shore. He's being very modest here. But yeah.
Busy.
But you said something. I want to kick it off with that. So you said that you love like seeking knowledge because you feel like you were cheated. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So I just feel like, you know, just going from like we're just starting elementary school. I just remember having a couple teachers that, you know, like there was this one teacher, Miss Bean, and she was the type of teacher that, you know, just would push you. And it was crazy because she would always tell me, like, Martellis, you need to read, you know, because I never liked reading out loud. Because I was afraid that kids would laugh at me because there were words that I you know, didn't know, didn't know how to pronounce. And so, you know, I didn't really like reading. And it was crazy because I had her, I believe, in like fourth grade, and then I turned around I had her in fourth grade, but I failed second grade. Wow. And it was crazy because the second grade teacher, I know her name. I'm grown, so
Say her name.
Her name was Miss
Say
Freeze.
her name, Miss Freeze.
And she was white, and she failed me.
Of course.
And so, but she failed. She passed the other dude, but he threatened her and her mama, and so she passed him because she didn't want to have him in her class again. So, but it was just, they did those standard testing and whatever. But I didn't. My parents were the type of parents that like set you down and like went over your homework, or like maybe other kids would do. But I felt like that was all that was needed because the kids were like, I'm sure some of the kids were like naturally smart, but then other kids probably needed like a little more, someone to help them with their work or like tutoring, a little more help to get the grades or be able to pass those standard tests that they were, they had to take at the time. So fast forward, had her in 4th grade, and then I had her in 7th grade. And she told me the same thing. She was like, Martellis, you have to read. You have to read. You have to read. And it still didn't click. It didn't click.
Right.
So it didn't click until maybe like my 2nd year of college. And I had a teacher from Howard, and it was in psychology. And she was like, I was getting, the class was boring to me at the time, but she was fine. She was fine. Yeah. She was from Howard.
That's a running trend with the young men that I talk to.
She was fine.
Like the female energy.
It's
can
real.
Be a good motivator.
It's real.
I mean, and Miss Freeze should have probably used some of her female.
Yeah, and she
energy.
was attractive. Caucasian
she should have used her energy instead of breaking you down. But
she had so many.
Gonna talk about
I think that she had so many. They had at the time there were so many kids in the classroom that. Their focus wasn't on just like, they were focused on kids that were probably disruptive or, maybe some of their favorites that naturally score higher on the testing, But Miss Bean always told me and she was very personable. But she came out of the house, she was like, Martellis, you okay? You have to do this, you do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. I still didn't get it.
Yeah.
But like fast forward, so I had psychology. So taking psychology, I was getting an F out of the class.
That was in college?
That was in college.
Okay.
And the teacher was like literally, I feel like I didn't start learning like, from theoretical point of view or like books, reading or all that type of stuff until I got to college. And the teacher she was a professor from Howard. She was here and she ended up moving back because I ended up running to her in the club. And then she said
that to your professor in the
club. Yeah. It was a daytime event,
okay,
so very mature. But she was gonna fail me. I was gonna get an F out of psychology class.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I'm failing you. But we had a final that was coming up. But the only way I would pass the class, well, really a D is failing. But only way I would get a D out of the class if I got an A on the final.
Okay.
So I literally went home and studied my butt off. I studied. And then I went to class. We took the final. I was the first one to walk out of the classroom, and I got an A on the final.
Wow.
And I had, I was BSing the whole way through but at that point, I realized I liked psychology.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it was like a little bit of a force, but I also wanted to prove her wrong. Because she told me it's about this little bootleg magazine. I can't think of the name of the magazine, but she was like, this is what she would read all the time. And I was like, well, have you heard of Rob Report? This is like a luxury magazine,
right.
I'm like, man, that shit. Like, Rob Report got everything.
Right.
But that forced me to like, that's when I opened my eyes. I'm like, dang, I like reading. And then I actually got like a couple of other books. I read this one book. It was, The Celestine Prophet or something like that. And when I read that book, it was amazing. It was really about manuscripts. And they were talking about, like, there were different manuscripts that basically was a Bible, but they didn't say it was the Bible. And everyone I forgot where it was like, where it was written or where it was going on. But everyone in a community had certain parts of the manuscript, but everyone was trying to get them from other people so they can have the entire book.
Have the whole thing.
Yeah. So, but that just led to me reading other books,
Right.
Yeah, but I actually like reading.
So what Miss Bean tried to infuse in you in 4th grade and then 7th grade didn't hit home until you got to college.
Not until I got to college.
So tell me about, you told me about Miss Bean and Miss Freeze, and so I understand that like the adults, the professionals you have contact with in school are super important.
They're very important.
Especially when, like you said, you don't really have the parental support at home.
Exactly.
So you go to school for help from these adults. But beyond those two significance, so you gave me one really good experience with a teacher, one not so great experience. But tell me about school. Did you like it? Did you like school?
Well, I didn't dislike school. I think, at the time, like, school for us was like, we went to school because, like, at the time, you had to go to school with your parents. They want to lock your parents up. And at the time, like during school, like especially like
that's not the case anymore.
No, I'm just saying, it used to be like that.
Yeah, truancy, the truancy was real.
Yeah, it was real. They would lock your parents up, and not only that, it was like for us, we grew up like extremely poor. Mm-hmm. So it was like for us, we went to school to eat. Like it was like, look, we going to eat. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in elementary school. Like we even though my stepdad, I mean, I'm looking at the amount of money he made then and the amount of money he made, we make now.
Yeah.
At the time, it was crumbs, but we still had to pay 20 cents for our lunches.
Right.
Even though we were like, 6 people in a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah. But y'all weren't the bottom of the bottom.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I like, because I'm so sociable. I think for me, I enjoy going to school just to hang with my friends and just to talk to people and just see how people dress. Like school for me was a different experience. Like, I don't feel like I really learned much, although I did like food service in high school. There was another fine teacher. She was from down south. I remember her, boy.
Where'd you go to high school?
Farragut. So I went to Farragut. My last year I went to Marshall. I was there with Kevin Garnett. Well, in Farragut I was with Kevin Garnett and Ronnie Field.
Okay.
But I left because it was too bad. We were fighting like crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I graduated from Marshall.
All right. So do you think you were properly educated to be successful?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, I'll give Farragut at the time they had this job readiness program. Mm-hmm. So from that perspective, like work, they kind of like, oh, you get the job readiness program, and there's a way to get out the house to do something, make a few dollars. So that was good. They were offering that. But as far as like education, being properly educated, I don't think so. Not at all. Because arithmetic, I was no good at it. Reading wasn't it. Writing, I honestly, I didn't learn how to write a paper until college.
Wow.
Like, that's when I learned how to write a paper. And it was, and honestly, it was like, because I didn't know how to write a paper, I just, Google, so I'll go on Google and
So it was Google when you were in college?
Well, Google, yeah. It was, I mean, there were all type of platforms. Yeah, there was some type of platform. Yeah, there was some type of platform. But, I graduated in 2003.
Yeah.
So it was late.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, you just use those different platforms, and it's like, because you didn't know, you maybe did a little form of cheating.
Yeah.
But it's actually because you cheated a little bit, and you force yourself to learn.
Yeah.
Through the process of cheating, I was able to learn and, retain some of the information from actually cheating. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Yeah, exactly. which is weird, but it's like, and I feel like all kids don't learn the same. Everybody learns different, and you have to figure out the style for that particular kid,
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that school, so I know you said that I know the bugs, it's nighttime. But I know you said that you like the social aspect of school. Mm-hmm. So do you think that school prepared you to function well in society?
Not at all. School, I mean, honestly, granted, like, I think that back then you didn't have, maybe you had the politics. I guess I was maybe too young. Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
I said, do you think that school prepared you? So it didn't prepare you academically. I heard you say that you were not prepared, especially when you got to college. Mm-hmm. But do you think that it prepared you to, like, survive and thrive in society? Like society?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I feel like now as an adult, like, I always question myself, like, why didn't they teach us finance?
Yeah.
Why didn't they teach us? Yeah, because it's like, if you learn how to, if finance, like, just some of the basic stuff that you need to, like, or write a check or like talk that kind of stuff. Like, nah, they didn't teach. They definitely didn't teach you that. It was just like, ABCs. This is 1, 2, 3s, or do your homework, do this or do that, and that's it. You get a job. Everything is to get a job.
Yeah.
But
you weren't prepared to get a job. Well, you had the one workforce class.
Yeah, but that was like, it didn't really prepare. Like, it didn't give you the tools. It was like, now these kids like 8th grade can do the program that I did at the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
So thinking about just like, so we talk about the preparedness of it, but thinking about, let me stick with the 2 cards. If you could change anything about your school experience, what would it be?
My school experience, I would say, um, um, I'm sorry. I would say if I could change anything about my school experience from high school, I, honestly, I wish we would lived in a better neighborhood. Because I feel like if we lived in a better neighborhood, I would have went to better schools. You know, like my friends that went to like great schools did extremely bad. Um, they they did extremely. They're doing extremely well. Like I went to Farragut. I got friends that went to Langley, or friends that went to Dunbar, or friends that have gone to like what's some of the better schools on the north side. Like I wish we lived on the north side. Lane Tech. Yeah, those schools. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like not saying like there were some of them that kind of went to didn't do well, but I feel like even if your parents were in a better position, they it would allow me to be in a better position early on.
Yeah.
Because you would have gone to you lived in a neighborhood that had schooling where you can, they would actually teach you or even care about. Not saying that teachers didn't care, but they got a ton of kids. Yeah. So I feel like the circumstance would have been different.
So I mean, and that's interesting, especially in Chicago. Like so much of like where you live dictates the quality of education.
Yeah, it does. Very much so.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And it's not fair. So that means if you in a tough community, then what?
It's fuck.
Okay, so this
and the teachers know it though. That's the crazy thing about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The teachers actually know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just instead of rising, they just fit in and do the bare minimum. So it stinks.
Exactly.
It stinks. It stinks. I mean, that's a whole like organizational trickle down effect. Like, because you can look at leadership and what is it demanding of the people that serve the kids who have no choices.
Yeah.
But
I'll say this though, like so this is what happened to me, right? So as I progressed in life, I started running to, they used to say, like, you are what you attract. I run to certain people. It's like a lot of the women, I guess, that I was attracted to or were attracted to me, they were, like, very smart, educated, going to school. So it's like later on in life, like, even when I wasn't in school, I would run into those type of women that graduated from colleges, top 10 colleges, and it's like, while I was dating them, I was able to learn from them. Yeah. It was like the things that they were taught in school, they, informed me, or like I had one young lady actually give me one of her math books when I was in college, and she was like, because I didn't understand the math. For school, I did my associates, and then I went for the bachelor's, but I didn't understand like binary numbers and zeros and ones, and it was like the way that I had, worked out a problem, I got the same answer because the way she taught me, because she went to Michigan State, she went to school computer engineering at Michigan State. So when I was in school, it was like I didn't understand the way the professor was teaching me. But when when we got together, she taught me. Yeah, she was like, you could do it this way. You don't have to do it. She was like, that way is very. First, the math book from the school that I was going to, in Michigan State School, a kid can do that.
The way they break it down.
Yeah, the way they break it down. Yeah. A kid can do it. You know what I'm saying? So it was, but at the same time, I understood the way that the problem should be worked out. But because I didn't do it the way the professor wanted me to do it, he marked my grade wrong. Yeah. Now I'll say this, I'll go back a little further. Had I been, smart enough at the time to challenge the professor, because we weren't taught to be analytical, or to, analyze, or just ask questions, or just, I had to get to be an adult to date someone and be like, look, my friend, you got to ask questions. You got to be able to talk to people's talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So had I been analytical, I would have been like, look, I would have challenged the professor. But, we coming from the inner city kids with that type of education, we want I wasn't taught to like, I was
trying to hide in the back, like fit into and hoping he don't call
I didn't think about it. Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, that kind of speaks to even like how you learned. So when we think about schooling, and I just thought about like how you said you learned from the young lady that you were dating from Michigan State. like because of how schools are set up, and you said several times in this interview, like the classrooms they had so many kids,
Yeah, a lot of
so
kids.
the oversized, but like it should have been opportunities when you were coming up through school where you guys could learn from each other.
Yeah, that's true.
And that doesn't really happen.
No, that doesn't happen. Because in school back then, people in school, everyone had their own situation.
Yeah.
So it's like school was not the focus when I was going to school. School wasn't the focus. People were just going in there, but it wasn't really the focus. Like people were trying to figure out like how they were gonna eat, like if they gonna have shoes to wear to school. Like the focus was different.
Yeah.
So it's like you had other things to worry about, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so one thing I like to always talk about with like black men about black boys is like discipline. So you said the one student who threatened Miss Freeze and our family showed out, like he got a different kind of response and treatment. So tell me about your discipline journey in school. Were you ever suspended? Like, can you think were you put out of classes? That kind of thing.
So for me, I was put out of class, but I was put out of class in college.
In college?
Yeah. He's like, Lewis, leave. Right? But you know, like another situation. Wasn't really paying attention or whatever, and he made me leave because he embarrassed me and made me leave out the classroom. Like I literally went home and drank a bottle of gin, and I studied the hell out of that work. And the next day I got the window, I knew everything.
Yeah.
But it was like for me, it's like I realized like for me, like nothing has been easy.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a little bit because sometimes when people are used to like having a struggle, sometimes you need a struggle to make the best out of your situation.
You get used to
making
lemonade.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nah, it's
so it's like, oh, this too easy. I need you to kick me upside the head.
Yeah. But discipline wise, no. What about in school? Who is that blowing your phone?
This is the food. Let me answer this. Hello, I'm right in the back on the porch.
Get him.
Can I go get the food?
Yes, he ordered some food. So
I'm right here on the front, bro.
It's interesting, but ebbing and flowing, and just having this unique conversation about just educating black boys better. So Lewis grew up on the west side of Chicago. So I mean, like, and he shared a little bit of insight around his experience where he grew up, and you know, and his west side is still very strong in him, as you can see from him.
North Lawndale, baby. No.
North Lawndale represent. But so just talking about the quality of education you receive. So right now I'm asking about discipline. Hey, Georgina. So Georgina has been disciplined and suspended in elementary and 8th grade. Were you ever suspended?
Was I suspended? Oh, wow, I can't remember. I think I might have been suspended. Oh, yeah, I was. I was suspended. I think it was like in when I was in kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
So the teacher left me in charge of the class.
The teacher left him in charge in kindergarten.
I forgot what I did. I think I took the ruler and beat somebody.
And whacked somebody.
Yeah,
well, she should have been suspended.
Right, she should have been suspended.
For leaving you in charge. I mean, what? Really?
I can't really remember like being suspended.
So discipline wasn't one of your issues. Okay. All right, so last question before we do our little rapid fire round. If you could provide educators with suggestions on how to make schools better for black boys, what would you tell them?
How to make them better for black boys. Wow. I mean, I think just, you know, having like some interaction outside of school, you know? Like, I think that's because, like, in a classroom, it's like you have a group of kids and you dealing with all of the kids at the same time.
Yeah.
I think because we see black kids see so much, and we're just naturally good kids. Well, naturally good kids, or just nice, who want to do, want to help everybody or do right by people. I think that because like when you're young, you're very impressionable. Yeah. So you want to give or do anything, but it's like you want to fit in also, especially like when you lacking like just a lot, whether it's financially, mental, emotionally or whatever, So it's like you looking for someone to provide you whatever it is that you're missing. So I think if kids were able to like have some, that's why I just feel like it's important just to keep the kids busy, just keep them involved in something, and you have to listen to the kids because I think parents always have some, this idea of like what they want them to do, and it's like most of the kids you just have to whatever they want to do in life, just help them, encourage them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them, no, you're gonna do this. I want you to be this, but
yeah.
Okay. I think that's
so. I hear you saying to my educated friends, like get engaged with kids outside of the classroom.
Yeah, for sure. Outside of the classroom is important.
That makes sense. Okay, so I got a little rapid fire round that I'm doing with everyone. So highest level of education.
So highest level, I'm two classes shy of engineering degree.
Okay, so almost a BA.
Yeah.
Was school worth your time? Yes or no?
Yeah, it was worth it.
Okay.
It was worth it, yeah.
And you answered this, ever suspended?
Yeah, I was suspended. Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to make school better for Black boys?
I think it's possible, yeah. I think it's possible.
All right, and then favorite lunchroom meal?
Favorite lunchroom? Oh, shit, the peanut butter cookies.
Peanut butter cookies!
Peanut butter cookies with turn.
The lunchroom. When did school get real for you?
When did school get real for me? School got real for me in college when I had to do that paper.
Psychology?
No, not in psychology. The paper that you had to exit paper. I had to write one of those.
Oh, like competency.
I didn't
type
write
that.
I wrote it prior to class. Turned it in. I was like, I ain't cut for this. You know what I'm saying? And because it was time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't cut for that. I wrote the paper prior to and turned it in.
And then turned it in. What?
Graduate.
Favorite subject in school?
Favorite subject in school? Food service.
Food service. That's a whole subject.
I know how to cook. Okay. I'm good.
Favorite teacher?
Favorite teacher? No, I gotta say Miss Marshall.
Miss Marshall. What did Miss Marshall teach? You didn't tell me about her.
Miss Marshall. What class did she teach? I forgot what class she taught, but Miss Marshall she was Jamaican.
Okay.
So she come to school with jerk chicken, and she used to be high as hell. Like everybody knew she was hot with it. But you know what though? She had a little hood. She was cool, but she had a little hood in her. She was cool. And she ain't had no problems in her classroom. No
behavior problems. Okay.
And she smoked all day. Everybody knew it. They ain't no problems. They listened to her. They did what she told them to do. And I think I paid attention in her class.
Oh, my God. I got highest level. Okay, and first time that you saw a black male as your teacher, what grade were you?
A black male? I was in maybe 4th grade.
4th grade?
Yeah. He was a gym teacher, Mr. Reagan.
Okay. He was a PE teacher.
Yeah, he was so cool. He used to wear the Nike jogger suits. He had the little good hair, you know what I'm saying?
Had a little swoop
cool.
suit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't take no stuff, though. He was cool. Yeah, so I respected him.
We like the PE teachers.
Yeah, Mr. Bond. No, you know what? Mr. Bond. I forgot about Mr. Bond. He was at Crown.
Okay.
Mr. Bond.
What grade?
Well, Mr. Bond was there when I was in kindergarten.
Okay. But he wasn't your kindergarten teacher.
No,
he
wasn't
the one that let you in charge.
He's the principal.
Okay.
He used to whoop people's ass, sling them on the stage, beat the hell out of them. You hear me? Everybody respected
I don't
Mr.
believe
Bond.
it. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I don't believe that educators do not hit
If you went to Crown, you knew Mr. Bond. He wasn't messing around. He was tall, about 7 something, dark skin. He wasn't taking no drama.
Well, it's been real. Ebbing and flowing with you. Any last words as we close out this last minute?
Any last words? No, I mean, thank you for having me. God bless.
God bless. And that's it. Oh wait, let's go out with our same song. Let's out. No.
It's a word.
I know this is a different song. This is a different song. And that's different.
No, let's go.
Okay. All right. Thanks y'all for watching. Share.
Thumbs up.
We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right for these babies.